Okay, let's talk about something super boring that is actually very important, and that is the amount of earnest money that is given on a purchase contract. You see, a lot of buyers and their agents tend to believe that the lower the earnest money, the better deal the buyer is getting, and that is far from the truth. And in order to understand that, you have to understand what earnest money actually does. Yes, it locks in the contract, it secures the contract. Yes, in most cases, it is refundable to the buyer. Not always, but in many cases. But it also locks in the seller, because what the purchase contract states is that if a seller wants to cancel on a buyer, at least here in Utah, the only way they can do that is if they pay the buyer an equivalent amount of the earnest money. Now, I know what a lot of agents will say, well, even if they try to cancel, we can try to force them to sell. Sure, I've done that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the punchline is, if it's a very low earnest money, and let's say the seller gets a better offer and they can pay $500, $1,000 to get out of that contract, they're going to be more likely to do that than if the earnest money was significantly higher. If the earnest money is $5,000, $10,000, then the seller is way less likely to try to get out of that deal to sell the property to somebody else. So if you understand that earnest money, number one, is part of your cash to close, so it's not something extra. And number two, it is refundable as long as you manage your deadlines properly, then giving a higher earnest money should not be a risky proposition, as long as your agent is skilled and you understand that by giving more in earnest money, it makes your offer stronger and it locks in the seller from looking in other directions and trying to sell the house to somebody else.